Hey fams, welcome to another moment with Miss Anne, and in this video we'll be sharing a lot more about land titles. So many people don't understand a lot more, but this is going to be a very detailed video. I already had a video on this channel, but this would definitely open up a lot of things to you about land title. So first of all, I'll be sharing with you the meaning of land title. Okay, for the purpose of real estate in Nigeria, you got to realize that titles refers to ownership of the property, meaning that you have the right to use that property. It may be a partial interest of the property owner, or probably for you to have a full ownership thing like on the land. All right, so however, because you have the title, you can access the land and potentially modifies that particular land as you see it. So one of the questions I get from a lot of clients is, what do you mean by land titles? And I keep hearing buyers say, yes, I want a sea of whole land, I want a sea of whole land, and they don't have the budget to buy that sea of whole land. Okay, so this video is really going to open up your mind to understand a lot more about land titles. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the deed of assignment. Okay, now the deed of assignment is that agreement between the seller of a land or property and a buyer of a land, and it shows evidence that the seller has transferred all his rights to you as the new owner of the land. Now, on that particular property, there's always title. If there is a title on the land, the interest, that means your own interest, and the ownership of the land, the way it is transferred, is going to be stated there. Okay, I made a video of this, which means you need to pay attention, or you need to stay tuned to my channel, because that video is going to be coming up on Premiere soon, so you have to watch a lot more about it. Now, with a deed of assignment, it's a good to go. Deed of assignment has been exchanged. If a deed of assignment is prepared, is exchanged between these two parties, and it has to be recorded in the land registry to show legal proof that you are now the new owner of the land. It all depends on how and when you want it done. There is no urgency to that if the land is genuine. Okay, so we're going to move to another one, which is the deed of conveyance. If it's in terms of leasing that particular land, then you can have a deed of conveyance or a deed of lease. All right, so you have to try and know the difference in this. The next one we have is a survey plan. A survey plan is that document that measures the boundaries of a parcel of land that you buy to give you accurate measurements and description of that land. So if you're thinking of buying a land, probably 1 acre, 1 hectare, I made a video of sizes of land, so if you have not watched it, please try and get all of these sizes in place. Or you're trying to buy one plot, it all depends on you. Okay, whichever way that you want to buy, please take note that your survey document has a record of this accurately. Now, the people that handle the survey issues are surveyors. All right, and for Lagos State, they are regulated by the Office of the Surveyor General in Lagos. Please take note of where these things are done. All right, now I always have issues with clients when they say, you know what, and this documentation, can I skip it? These prices are coming from the Lagos State Office of the Surveyor. So if you are trying to dodge it, be rest assured, probably in a few years it may not be that same price. So I always advise clients, if you have the money, you've paid for your documents, always try and also do your survey. Okay, do your documentation, your deed and your survey. Now, for this particular video, like I said, we'll be discussing on land titles, so that you get to know land titles and the ones you have documents over. So you have a document for deed, you have a document for survey, and as we go down, you also learn a lot more about this. So in regards to the survey, you may be wondering, what is the content of the survey? The survey will have the name of the owner of the land surveyed, the address and description of the land that is surveyed, the size of the land surveyed, the drawn up portion of the land surveyed and mapped out on the survey plan document. Okay, it will have the beacon number, it will have the surveyor who drew the survey. Okay, sometimes it could take the surveyor's address, okay, and a stamp. So there's also another stamp showing that the land is also free from government accusation or not. So in all of this, you are rest assured that this survey, it's a good one, a good to go one. All right, so that is that. Let's move to the third title I want to mention, which is Excision. So many people don't know what excision means, so I'm going to be talking about it. Then I'll also share with you a lot more about excision. Now, for the excision, if a land has an excision, it means it has gotten an approved excision. And land use decree of the 28th of March 1978. So if you are used to the Land Act, Land Act of Nigeria, then you should be able to get familiar with this. And it says that vested all land in every state of the federation under the control of the state's governor. The Land Use Act, coupled with other laws, made it possible for the governor, who was now the owner of all lands in the state, to actually have the power to acquire more land compulsorily for its own public purpose, to provide amenities for the greater good of the citizen. I always tell my client this. So if you're connected to my channel, I'm sure you must have heard me tell you this, that every land belongs to the government, whether it's C of O land, governor's council land. This is the fact. Okay, but you having some of these titles could help. All right, so don't look down on, oh, I bought a land, is now mine. The governor of that particular regime can decide to say, you know what, I think I have interest in this property, and what they will do is they will pay you off the value of that land if need be. Okay, so don't get yourself too acquainted to, oh, title, I must get title. Yes, it is good to have title. Okay, but you also have to understand that the Lagos state, the Nigeria, the federation itself, and the governor of that particular regime can have interest in the property you have acquired, and they'll get it. But for the purpose of excision, I personally brought in this because we've had a lot of talk on excision in progress. What is it about? How do we go about it? Anyway, we'll still talk more on that. Fortunately, the government recognizes that indigenes of different sections of the country have a right to have their own land to their self as they are being born into the land. Okay, so henceforth it is customary for state government to get a portion of land, okay, from this particular indigene and release the rest for them to sell. So that process that government picked some and released the rest is called excision. Okay, so an excision means basically that the government is taking some part and they release the order for the citizen to sell. So if you are buying an approved excision land, it means that there will be an excision number, and at the same time it will be that you are free to buy that kind of property. Okay, so what comes in excision in progress? When a property is being excised, it's a different thing entirely, and when it's in process, it's also a different thing. Now, for a property to be excised, it's a good thing because it has left the first process to the second one, that okay, we're already proceeding this for excision. Okay, and for it to be proceeded on excision, there will be a village number, okay, that will be used for it. And while it's in process, the good thing is this: there's high tendency that the government would approve, all right, because they are not going to undermine the indigene, and government will not give you a survey if it is not genuine. All right, so you have to realize this. So while you are doing your survey, you need a professional realtor to guide you on all these things, so that you have to get it all right. All right, so with that, the moment is in process for excision, there's high tendency that it will be approved. Now, the tendency of it not being approved is, let's say, 30%, which means government has got an interest there. And that's why I always tell you this: it's better you are buying from a reputable company. Okay, now for you to get a reputable company, a lawyer cannot get that for you, so don't always get it wrong. A professional realtor will definitely pick out that for you, because we know which is which. Okay, we know companies you can work with, and that's why you need to understand that working with the right realtor gets you the right property. Okay, so now let's move to the next step, which is a very, very sweet one, the Gazette. And I think I made a video about this before, but this, like I said, is very, very detailed, so that it can clear off a lot of things about land titles in Nigeria. You may not really get the meaning, the deeper understanding about land titles, but this one will really open up your mind to understand land titles. Now, what is a Gazette? A Gazette is an official record book where all special government details are spelled out, detailed, and recorded, even published. Okay, so for a gazette, as soon as the land is excised and it is published, it is called gazette. All right, so a gazetted land is always sometimes high. Like I've always told you, the higher the title, the higher the price of land, because all these things cost money, and over the years it gives you rest of mind on, oh, my mind is at rest, this thing. So in all of this, the higher the title, the higher the price of land. Okay, so if you are buying a land, always take note of all of these things I'm mentioning. All right, so in terms of gazettes, now this document is always a document that is available in photocopies. Probably it could cover some region. Okay, so you have the photocopy, and with the photocopy you can make your search on it and find out that, oh, this thing is actually genuine. All right, so a gazette will show that the communities or village that have been granted excision and the number of acres or number of hectares of the land that the government has given to them, it is within that excised acres. I mean, you will see it there is within the excised acres and hectares that the traditional family is entitled to sell that particular land to the public or an individual. Not anything outside those hectares is allowed. Okay, so a gazette is very powerful instrument in real estate, and it could cover a community, like I said, and can be replaced with a certificate of occupancy, which we're going to be discussing as we move further. Okay, so a community that owns a gazette can only sell land to an individual. Without those land, you can't sell any other land. Okay, now this document is always available. If you're working with the right realtor, he or she will definitely help you source for the photocopy. Then you can also have it. Even if you are buying from there, I always advise clients, make sure you're having a copy of that particular document. It's good for you. All right, so let's move to the next one, which would really interest you. Okay, now this particular next one, we've talked about deed, we talked about survey, we talked about excision, we talked about gazette. Now we are going to be talking about certificate of occupancy. Okay, this is very common, which is where everybody knows, oh, certificate of occupancy. This is good. It's issued by the government, Lagos state government. Is always a certificate, okay, officially leasing Lagos land to you. Take note of what I said. It's issued by the Lagos state government, officially leasing Lagos land to you. Okay, the applicant would definitely. So a CFO is, however, that official recognized document for demonstrating your rights to the land. Now a CFO covers for 99 years. After 99 years, there is an open room for renewal. Okay, every buyer needs to understand this. Most people will not tell you. A lot of people that want to help you, oh, let me help you get CFO, let me help you get CFO, they may not tell you. But that is why you're connected to this channel, so that you can actually pick up all of this and learn a lot more about land titles. It is very important you know them. So I have my WhatsApp link below, so if you are really concerned to talk to me directly, make sure you are chatting me up as fast as possible. Okay, it is important that you get yourself acquainted to what you need to know about a lot on land documents. All right, and that's why I'm here to guide you. I'm here to ensure that you get the right documentation, not just the right documentation, but buying the right property. You may be thinking of having the right documentation, but you need to buy the right property first, right? So you can decide to chat me up directly as fast as possible. As soon as you see this video, don't delay, hit me up so that you can get a lot of more questions, or probably answers to your questions. So we're going to be talking about the last one on the list, which is the governor's consent. Okay, most people don't know what governor's consent means. They don't know what is governor's consent. I don't know, especially these are our old people. They'll be like, and what is governor's consent? It's your fault that I know. Now, governor's consent stands as the highest title ever, and I'll tell you reasons why it is seen as the highest title shortly. But before I proceed, we have a lot of properties available on HTH and Per Limited, and I really want to encourage you, if you have not, you have not tried to go through our HTH Ampere Limited playlist under the playlist, please do so, because it will really open up your mind to understand a lot more about real estate and know which properties are available for sale, the good ones, the dry ones, and so many other reasons why you should buy a property. So please make sure you're watching that. Now for the last one, the concept of governor's consent is an integral part of land transaction. It is one of the steps that requires to you perfecting a title. Okay, when they say perfecting a title, that is what it means. Okay, according to the Land Act of 1978, which is one of the current major laws government is actually looking up to for all buyers to go for. Okay, so governor's consent simply refers to approval of the governor of every state of Nigeria to any transaction related to land. Now, consent is often required for a perfection of land, all right? So it is not compulsory, okay? Any title you have, so far it is genuine, is good to go. My own land in Ikorodu was built on just deed of assignment and survey, and we don't have any issue with the government. We've been paying land use just as it is, okay? So don't create so many ring under the land titles, okay? So be rest assured, if you are buying a land through me, you are buying a safe land, because Ann Wakama does not sell the whole land in Lagos. Okay, I select what I sell, and I know why I sell them. I do verifications, I ensure I do the right, as in the due diligence before trying to sell, because what I'm selling is my personality. Okay, so take note of this. Now, in terms of concept, right, this is recorded in Land Act also, and it is noted that in Land Act of section 49(1), it says the power of the governor shall be exercisable by the president of the head of state in respect of land comprised in federal capital territory or vested in the federal government in any state. It is to be noted that the provision of the Land Use Act, a non-Nigerian cannot apply for the right of occupancy, as the governor of this Lagos state, okay, is aware. But for governor's consent, you can actually get a perfected land, okay, as a Nigerian, all right? Then if you're a non-Nigerian, you can stop at other title, it doesn't matter. All right, just be happy with what you have. Be rest assured that what you have is a good one, and that's it. All right, so I'm trying to make this more clearer so that you can understand a lot more about consent. Now, with this power, the governor has the right to grant consent to any transaction which it thinks has followed through the process of the land titles. Okay, now you can go through approved decision land and get a consent. You can go through a gazetted land and get a consent. All right, you can go through a CFO land and get a consent. Now it's just like I'm registering this thing to the land registry, that okay, please people should give me governor's consent. Let the governor just stamp it that okay, I am aware of this particular land, and that is what they call perfecting of land. Okay, so with all of this, you have to understand how this thing work and how you can really understand a lot more about land titles. I've been able to share a lot in this video, but I want to really encourage you, if you have not watched the first land title, please watch it. I may also drop the link below so that you can get to understand a lot more and ask the right questions. Thank you for watching this clip. Make sure you follow us up on all of our social media platforms. Ask me a lot of more questions, and don't forget to like this video if you know you really like it, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell to get notified on each time we do a post right on the Hatala TV. Follow us up on all of our social media platforms and ask a lot of more questions as regards to your real estate. I'm your real estate advisor, Ann Wakama, and I'm always here to guide you to ensure that you invest into the right investment. Okay, I love you now and always. Bye bye.